Good day, Forex Toddler family. First of all, the rest of the Toddler team will be introducing themselves today and explaining what FXT is all about. Okay, episode 3, risk management and support and resistance. We will first have our theoretical session followed by a practical. But before we begin, I'm using an on-screen recorder, trial version, but before we purchase it, we need to try it out first, just like every new trader should, by utilizing a demo account before going into live trading. Before we begin with today's session, I would like you guys to pause the video and read this important notice we have compiled. Right, risk management. Number 1, use a stop loss. We cannot stress this enough. No one wants to lose money, so why not use something that can limit the loss of money? Using a stop loss can prevent the loss of your entire trading account, and a trailing stop can also help lock in your profits. Right, number 2, use minimal leverage. Never use more than 100:1, especially on a very small account. Now, some of you may ask what the word leverage means. Well, leverage is a loan that is provided to an investor by the broker who handles the account. For example, if I have 100,000 or if I have $100 deposited into my trading account and I use a leverage of 100:1, this basically means that the brokerage firm loans me $10,000. Number 3, never risk more than 3% of your entire capital account on any trade. Basically, if you have that account of $100, don't risk more than $3 on that particular trade. Utilize the 6% rule for tighter risk management. The 6% rule states that you should stop trading for the rest of the month whenever your losses reach 6% of your account equity at the beginning of that month. Okay, so what is support? Support is the price level at which buyers are expected to enter the market, and this will prevent the price from falling further. What is resistance? Resistance is when the price stops going up. This is a level where sellers are expected to enter the market in sufficient numbers to prevent further increases in prices, and also a level where the buying interest has decreased significantly. Okay guys, so now we're going to go into practical mode. We will be looking at, let me just swing through to that part. We'll be looking at USD JPY on the daily chart. Firstly, I'll be doing support and resistance lines. Just like I said in the theoretical part, basically support and resistance it helps us to predict what will happen in the future. So if I'm looking at the daily chart of the USD JPY, I'm just going to draw my support and resistance lines. I'm going to place this as a potential support because it seems like there's a lot of resistance, or let's say support here, where the market gets here, bounces back down, and then again here it comes back down. So this is a strong line for future support levels. So we'll say this is our support level, and the potential line for resistance will be either this one or this one, but we'll see as we scroll to the right. So let's just scroll here. As you see, okay, let's do this before I continue. Let's first write down where my support lines and resistance lines are so you guys can see it. Here I said it was a potential. Let's just start with the resistance. Okay, let's just do that. Let's say this, I said this was my first resistance, right? And then this one also I saw it as a potential resistance line. And then here I said was my potential support. So support, yeah. Okay. So when we scrolled right, we saw that on our third line here, it did again go up again. It tested our resistance line, it broke it, tested the second one, it broke it again, then came down again. Then again it came back to the second resistance line and broke our support. but when it breaks support, it comes back up again and creates another resistance line here. So this level, these two levels here are important levels. So what I'm going to do is mark it as a very important level by just doing this for future preferences. Right, so now if we scroll to the right again, we see that the market kept going down. So as of yet, it hasn't come to test here. So we'll wait for it. And then when it gets here, it breaks it. But before it breaks it, there's a supply and demand level. We'll talk about supply and demand at a later stage, but there's a supply and demand level here. Goes up again, comes down, and then tests this level we said was a very important level. And as we speak, on the date today is the 11th of March, right? So as you can see, we have a candle, a bearish candle here, and it's also testing this level. So I would say that maybe this is actually our support and resistance is telling us that maybe this market might be going down and testing this potential support level here, because it created another support. Remember I said if there's more than two that confirm it, then it should be a strong level. So this is what I think would happen with the USD JPY in the near future. And then we're going to incorporate the risk management section we covered a bit by just showing you what we do when we calculate our positions. And a nice entry will be a pending order entry that will ensure that you have some breathing space and not lose a lot of money from the trade if it were to go south. So I'll just have my target area on my support level and my stop loss on my previous high. So if I look at it here, there, if I look at it here, it says there's my target and there's my stop loss. So I'm happy with that, and we'll see how it works out, and we'll probably post it on Instagram so you guys can actually follow up on it. Okay, thanks guys, and I hope you enjoy the content we just shared today.